In order to be a good dancer, you need a good partner, because being a good dancer is a love affair between you, your partner, and the music. Over the years, I've had many dance partners, but I've learned over time never to say I have a favorite. In my early years, I danced with George Sardi. I was just a kid and I worked so hard that amused him, and he proposed a partnership. George and I danced in the main ballroom of the Plaza Hotel and also in the famous Persian room. Later in life, George arranged a cabaret show in a bar called Waverly Waverly, situated in Greenwich Village, and then he decided to have his own talk show. The next celebrity that I danced with is Tom Hanson. Tom danced with some of the biggest names in show business on the Arthur Murray Dance Show. What made Tom famous in his dancing were his fabulous steps in the Charleston.
And Tom Hanson in a Charleston.
Tom also served as professional partner to Catherine Murray whenever she appeared on the dance show. In the following clip, you will see Catherine Murray dancing with Tom Hanson, and you will see yours truly in the background dancing with Art Shearer. Later on, Tom Hanson formed his own dancing group known as the Tom Hanson Dancers. They performed on the Red Skelton Show, and they also performed on Your Hit Parade.
The top tunes all over America as determined by Your Hit Parade survey, which checks the best sellers in sheet music and phonograph records, the songs most heard on the air, and the songs most played on the automatic coin machines. An accurate, authentic tabulation of America's taste in popular music. Your Hit Parade.
This brought many opportunities to the Arthur Murray dancers to be on television, including yours truly. On the following clip, you can see me dancing on the Red Skelton Show. The dance was The Blues in the Night. Now let's talk about my longest partnership. His name was Terry Leone, and he was a stylish, elegant, charismatic gentleman of the time. I needed a partner to fill the position of the show at the Tavern on the Green, and at that time Terry Leone met all the requirements that Mrs. Murray had put forth, and he was accepted and became my partner. Our show was a huge success, after which we got a promotion as supervisors of the Fifth Avenue studio. We worked hand in hand with Mr. and Mrs. Murray, who laid the foundation for our future of our executive careers. Terry and I were best of friends. In fact, we were lifelong friends. Our careers went into different directions. Even though there were miles between us, we always stayed close. Terry became the franchisee of the Dallas, Texas studio, and later on, he became the franchisee of the Beverly Hills studio. Meanwhile, I stayed in New York and I was promoted to Director of Dance, Research, and Development. Besides his accomplishments as a franchisee, he also was a co-owner of the Emerald Ball with Wayne Eng in California. Later on in his career, Terry went on to host the Ohio Star Ball with Juliet Prowse.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss Juliet Prowse and her co-host, Mr. Terry Leone.
Let me welcome back our resident dance expert who will guide us through tonight's major competitions. He is Terry Leone, and he is a former Latin champion who teaches professional dancers and judges competitions throughout the world. It's great to see you again, Terry.
Terry made numerous television appearances, including The Merv Griffin Show and The Johnny Carson Show. Because of his good looks and his charisma, he became the face of Arthur Murray in commercials and advertisings. All the while we maintained our friendship, and we would reunite at different functions that Arthur Murray held across the country. When Terry and I danced, we were a perfect combination of sophistication and sex appeal. We had a bond that was unique. We had a bond that shaped the industry to some degree. Terry and I were friends until his untimely death. We were friends longer than some people are married. He was so kind, and there'll never be another dancer like him because he had a fantastic personality. After Terry, I danced with Sam Sodano, who was a young teacher who came to visit me at the Tavern on the Green from Union City, New Jersey. When I first met Sam, he was a young teacher full of hope and spunk. Sam became a lifelong friend, and he still is. We have performed many shows together. I remember fondly that Sam always would steal the scene. He was a devil that way, but he had a neat personality. There's an old saying by Ann Miller, the movie star, never walk onto the stage with a puppy dog or a child, because they inevitably will steal the scene. Well, the same could be said for Sam Sodano. He always would steal the scene. In a way, we complemented each other. He would work the audience, and the audience ate out of his hand. Beyond dancing, it was steadfast friendship with Sam, and it's been there since the beginning. He was always there for me, and I'm always there for him. I've been with him for every Ohio Star Ball since the beginning. When Sam was not available, I danced with Pierre Dulaine, who is a very handsome and talented young dancer. I look at this time as a treasure. Dancing with him was such an honor. Many of the techniques that I used with Pierre Dulaine are still in use today. After that, I danced with Vernon Brock, a very accomplished dancer for his time and era. In the 1980s, Vernon Brock went to host the United States Ballroom Championships with Juliet Prowse.
We're lucky to have a winner with us, former dance champion Vernon Brock, to explain how the dancers get here and how they're judged.
Thank you, Juliet. The United States National Ballroom Dancing Championships take place once a year. For dancers, it is the biggest championship in the United States. It is 3 days of intense competition among the finest dancers in the country. Out of the over 1,000 contestants who have entered this competition, only a handful will make it through the elimination rounds.
After Pierre Dulaine, I danced with P.J. Navarro through changing styles and techniques. The next gentleman I danced with was David Butcher, who went to great fame by dancing with my very good friend Bonita Brockert. Finally, I danced with Don Ramos, who, outside of dancing, he was known for his bodybuilding expertise. In his younger years, he was a champion bodybuilder. He also appeared in advertising for bodybuilding in Playboy magazine. When Donald got older, he became a bodybuilding champion for senior citizens. Don Ramos and I were very successful in updating the Arthur Murray syllabus. We were also very successful in performing together. In the following clip, you will see Wendy and Patrick Johnson dancing the revised Arthur Murray syllabus. Another demonstrator was Sam Sodano, who can be seen here demonstrating the bolero. After my professional partnership, I had very many amateur pro-am partners. That means a student and a teacher. I danced with Mr. Maurice Austin, an attorney from New York. We danced at the Laurels and the Plaza Hotel, and it was a lot of fun. Later in my career, I acquired much fame by dancing with my students, especially Lou Stellingworth. When I first met Lou, he had a pair of blue jeans on and also a pea jacket, and I told him that was not appropriate for a dancer. I took Lou shopping, and that combined with many lessons made Lou a star on the dance floor. We traveled between Canada and the US, and we entered many competitions together. Lou became an instructor, and he was so good that I promoted him to a supervisor in my school in Calgary. Another accomplished student that I had was Tu Lu, a gentleman from Vietnam. He today owns a studio in the same building I did. Our dancing was very successful. I have very many pleasant and happy memories of those days. Altogether, I've had many student partnerships that were wonderful, and I'm thankful and grateful for them. and I will always remember them with fondness. There is nothing more satisfying in dancing than being at the same time, at the same beat of the music, on the same step. It is the most gratifying feeling in the world. When I reflect on my partnerships, there is a mixed feeling about love and loss. Many of the people who have brought joy to my life are no longer here, very unfortunately so. I dedicate this chapter to my partners who remain, Lou Stellingworth and Sam Sodano.